Good afternoon. My name is Amy Lockwood Hertel, and I am a descendant of the Coharie Indian tribe and an enrolled citizen of the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina. I serve as director of the UNC American Indian Center here at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here today. Today we're gathered here at the steps of the American Indian Center and on the ancestral land of the Eno, the Saxbahaw, and the McCrory Indians, the descendants of whom still live in this area today. And joining us in attendance are members of the Carolina Native community consisting of Native students, faculty, staff, and alumni, and allies all across campus, as well as our provost and representatives from General Administration, UNC Pembroke, and NC State University. We are gathered for a formal reading of the Governor's Proclamation declaring November American Indian Heritage Month, and for a delivery of the proclamation to the UNC General Administration. This, my friends, is a historic event, and we at Carolina, as well as at our sister institutions, are pleased to be invited to participate. Soon, Mr. Jared Lowry, who's the Outreach Liaison in the Office of Community and Constituent Services, will read the words of the Governor's Proclamation, and I encourage you to listen very carefully. Recently, as I read the proclamation myself in its entirety, a couple of elements caught my attention, and I want to raise those to your attention right now, specifically as they pertain to the UNC system and to our role here at the UNC American Indian Center. First of all, the proclamation recognizes the enormous contributions that American Indians have made to the state of North Carolina. And it's true, the UNC system has graduated many American Indian doctors, lawyers, authors, artists, social workers, educators, and many others from many different services. They've gone to the state institutions, and they now serve the state and the tribal nations. And here at the American Indian Center, we invest our resources and our time to promote the success and the inclusion of American Indian students in higher education through programs like our Native Pathways to Professional Disciplines and other internship and employment opportunities and practicum experiences. Second, the governor rededicated the state to supporting tribal sovereignty, tribal self-determination, and prosperity for all American Indians in the state of North Carolina. This, my friends, is powerful language for the governor to use, and we stand ready at Carolina to answer this call. The American Indian Center, your American Indian Center, is the only public service center of its kind in the UNC system, charged with addressing American Indian issues and opportunities, and we work with the 8 tribes and 4 urban Indian organizations across the state supporting tribal self-determination. Through partners across this campus and the state, we are supporting tribal nations in addressing health through Healthy Native North Carolinians, asset building through the Native Asset Coalition, and leadership through the North Carolina Native Leadership Institute. And in short, the American Indian Center truly is the front door to Native communities across the state, and it's the front door for Carolina to tribal nations. It is for these reasons that we are particularly honored to have this reading here at the American Indian Center on this very chilly November afternoon, and I thank you very much for your attendance. My remarks now will be followed by a reading of the proclamation by Mr. Jared Lowry, remarks from General Administration, Dr. Tracy Ford, Carolina's Provost, Provost Jim Dean, and Dr. Alfred Bryant from UNC Pembroke, and Mr. Ian Stroud from NC State University. We'll then end today's activities with a special drum selection by Mr. Marty Richardson, who's a member of the Halawa-Saponi tribe and a doctoral student in the history department. In closing, as November now comes to an end, the UNC Native community welcomes you to join the American Indian Center and our partners and friends in American Indian and Indigenous Studies and other areas across campus in celebrating and supporting American Indians and tribal nations, not just this month, but every month of the year. Thank you.
I want to thank everyone for being here today. I greatly appreciate everyone coming. To let everybody know, this is actually my first time being at UNC Chapel Hill, and even though it's cold, it's a thrill to be here, as my brother used to call UNC Chapel thrill. So I appreciate it. It's great to be here today. North Carolina is a unique place, and in my opinion, it's the greatest state in the Union. We have here everything that a person will ever need. Everything from the sandy beaches down east to the great Smoky Mountains out west. But here in North Carolina, we have our own Hollywood in Wilmington. We have our own Wall Street in Charlotte, our own Silicon Valley right here in the Triangle, and the Triad's industrial region can compete with any place in the entire nation. But also, North Carolina is unique in another way. We have the fourth highest population of American Indians in the entire country. We have more American Indian-owned businesses, professionals, doctors, lawyers than any other state, just about any other state in the Union in every single category. But you ask, why? How did this happen? I say one question with two answers. And first, it's right here, with the creation of the first ever public university in the United States, right here at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And also, down in Pembroke, University of North Carolina at Pembroke was the first ever public institution to educate American Indian students. These are two reasons why American Indians have been so successful in the state of North Carolina. And I want to say on behalf of the governor to thank every member institution for their continued pursuit to adequately educate all people of the state of North Carolina. See, in North Carolina today, there are 8 state recognized tribal nations. These 8 nations are separate nations of people with their own cultures, traditions, heritage, and history. When we speak of diversity, we can look no further than the American Indian, with over 560 federally recognized tribes that are unique with their own customs, languages, and heritage, and the other over 200 state recognized tribes. There are over 700 nations of people right here in America. That, my friends, is true diversity. But today, I lay a charge for every member institution to recruit, retain, and graduate American Indian students, to recruit and hire American Indian faculty and staff, and work to create a comfortable learning environment for American Indians the way we do for other minorities. And while most campuses use November to educate students about American Indians, some do not take advantage of this opportunity. Don't let the lack of a population stop you from spreading the knowledge of all American Indians, because as the theme for this month is, we're still here. For over 14,000 years, American Indians have walked these very lands. We are the first Americans, and we're still here today, and we're proud citizens of North Carolina and the United States. Actually, I have been preparing for American Indian Heritage Month for a couple of months beforehand, because I was really excited about getting around and doing different things and seeing different people. And so we actually had this prepared last month. But it states here, whereas the 2010 U.S. Census data indicates that North Carolina is home to more than 122,000 American Indians, the largest American Indian population east of the Mississippi. With over 14,000 years of American Indian culture, tradition, we are still here. Whereas American Indians stand among America's most distinguished authors, artists, scientists, and political leaders, and in their accomplishments, they have profoundly strengthened the legacy we leave our children. We are still here. Whereas American Indians and Native Alaskans fought bravely to protect this legacy, as members of our armed forces, as service members, they have shown exceptional valor and heroism on battlefields from the American Revolution to the current engagements in Iraq and Afghanistan. We are still here. Whereas American Indians have demonstrated time and time again that their commitment to advancing our common goals, preserving American Indian culture and heritage, we are still here. Whereas this month we celebrate the rich heritage and contributions of American Indians and Native Alaskans, and we rededicate ourselves to supporting tribal sovereignty, self-determination, and prosperity for all Native Americans as a way of remembering that we are still here. Whereas we seek to strengthen our nation-to-nation relationship by ensuring tribal nations have a voice in shaping national policies impacting tribal communities in a profound way, we are still here. Whereas I call upon all citizens, institutions, and government agencies to commemorate this month with appropriate programs, celebrations, and activities of American Indian populations, honoring their heritage and contributions as they are truly North Carolina's first people, we are still here. Now, therefore, I, Pat McCrory, Governor of the State of North Carolina, do hereby proclaim November 2013 American Indian Heritage Month in North Carolina and commend its observance to all citizens. In witnesses thereof, I hereunto set my hand and affix the seal of the great seal of the state of North Carolina and the capital at Raleigh, the 17th day of October in the year of our Lord, 2013, and of the independence of the United States of America, 238. Governor Pat McCrory. Thank you.
Hello. As mentioned earlier, I am Tracy Ford, the Assistant Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs at UNC General Administration. And on behalf of Tom Ross, President of our system, and everyone at UNC General Administration and our constituent institutions, I'd like to thank you for the invitation and acknowledge this wonderful occasion. We are still here. It is truly my pleasure to be here with you today for such an important event. The Governor's Proclamation of November as American Indian Heritage Month in the UNC system. It is a very exciting time. We value the contributions of American Indians and their contributions to North Carolina and the UNC system. As the nation's oldest public university, we have strived to remain a leader in providing higher education, and over the years have evolved into one of the strongest and successful systems of public higher education in the nation. Diversity amongst UNC faculty, staff, and students is what makes our university so rich in culture and mission, and today's occasion and the entire month of activities during the month of November emphasizes this commitment. The university has much to be proud of, but still must continue to be a leader in diversity and educational excellence. We must work together. American Indians are among the least represented groups of faculty, staff, and students across higher education. And to ensure that we increase this representation of American Indians, it is important that we all work closely together and move this agenda forward. We must be partners in this educational endeavor. While we have made some great progress in moving toward the goals of the UNC Strategic Directions Plan, Our Time, Our Future, there is still much to be done. We recognize that more must be done to acknowledge, embrace, and celebrate the great diversity of our state, including the contributions of American Indians. More must be done and can be done to increase the presence of American Indians among our students, faculty, and staff. All of us here in the UNC General Administration and our constituent institutions play a significant role in making this happen. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you today and look forward to the continued work that will be done. Thank you. Thank you, Governor McCrory, for this proclamation. Thank you, Carolina, for inviting UNC General Administration to be here today. I'd like to acknowledge our institutions that are present today, NC State and UNC Pembroke, and all of our constituent institutions for all that they do to ensure the educational access and success of our American Indian students and our faculty. So again, thank you for the invitation and enjoy the rest of the festivities. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Jim Dean, and I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost here at UNC Chapel Hill. Thank you, everyone, for coming. So because my name is James Dean, whenever I speak, a motorcycle rides by. That's how that works. That's the kind of pull I have. I'd like to provide a little bit of context in terms of the UNC Chapel Hill element here. So during the fall semester of 1999, my predecessor, Provost Dick Richardson, observed that UNC Chapel Hill, as the flagship public university in a state with, as has already been mentioned, the largest Indian population east of the Mississippi, had no organized program focused on American Indians or American Indian studies. In 2001, the Provost's Committee on Native American Issues was created by interim Provost Dick Edwards. This important committee was charged with two roles. First, to coordinate and support efforts across campus to build programs of teaching, research, and service relevant to American Indians. And second, to advise the Provost on initiatives to increase the Native American presence on campus with a focus on recruiting and retention of Indian students, faculty, and staff. Eventually, the American Indian Center was established in 2006 by Provost Robert Shelton. One of the conclusions you might draw from all of this is that provosts don't last very long around here. While the center works to serve North Carolina state tribes and sovereign nations, it also works to provide services to all of those of us on campus. Since being created, the American Indian Center has connected university faculty, students, and staff to Native nations and communities, both in North Carolina and beyond. Whether for research, for class projects, or for student support, the center has proved to be a vital part of our campus community. As the first public institution in the nation, UNC Chapel Hill is indeed fortunate to have both the American Indian Center and the American Indian and Indigenous Studies. At Carolina, we celebrate, support, and promote the inclusion and education of this nation's first people, not just during American Indian Heritage Month, but all months of the year. Once again, thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
My name is Dr. Alfred Bryant, and on behalf of the University of North Carolina at Pembroke, Chancellor Kyle Carter, and as the founding director of the University's Southeastern American Indian Studies program, I am honored to be with you today to share in this celebration. Many people from the University of North Carolina at Pembroke are participating today in spirit, including the thousands of American Indians who have graduated from the institution and the nearly 1,000 American Indian students currently enrolled at UNC Pembroke today. Also here in spirit are the American Indians who more than 125 years ago founded the Crowtown Normal School for Indians. Their school, made up of one building, one teacher, and 15 students, grew into UNC Pembroke, the most diverse regional university in the Southeast and the university of choice for nearly half of all American Indian college students in the state of North Carolina. So on behalf of UNC Pembroke and the American Indians of Southeastern North Carolina, I am pleased to join Governor McCrory in proclaiming November American Indian Heritage Month. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is E.N.T. Stroud. I work at North Carolina State University. I want to say thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you all to the American Indian Center, to all the staff here for putting this together, for welcoming and inviting us to participate. Also to Mr. Jared Lowry, the governor's office, for coming out and reading a proclamation. One thing that we just wrapping up our educational programs at NC State, and I want to say just like this is a great opportunity for us to reflect and also educate others about Indigenous and American Indian culture here within North Carolina, but also in the world. I think for me, when I think about Native American Heritage Month, I think about what's next. This is an opportunity for us to strive further. I want to say just quickly, to continue to encourage our innovators, our Native students here who are attending us, staff members, faculty who are here and joining us, continue to think big, continue to take us forward. The term "we are still here," that's 500 years of resiliency, cultural resiliency, and also continuous. Let's say, instead of saying we're still here, where are we going? This is where we're going. Follow us. So let us continue to be leaders. Let's continue to honor our ancestors here who brought us here. So thank you again for all of this opportunity to be here and speak in front of y'all. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and welcome Mr. Martin Richardson. So.
So in closing, wow, wasn't that really, I just have to stop. Wasn't that amazing? Here on the steps of this space, at this first public institution, the music. Thank you very much, Marty. Just want to thank everyone for their attendance here today and for your continued support and all that you do here on this campus and across the UNC system for American Indian students, for American Indian faculty, and furthering the self-determination of tribal nations in the state of North Carolina. Thank you very much.